Dr. Swaminathan, how do you see India's preparation for the vaccine rollout, and also the safety and efficacy discussions that are going on related to the vaccines?
I think India has made very good preparations for the vaccine rollout. From what I've seen, the dry runs that have been conducted, the amount of training that's been done at the district level, at the local level, the guidelines that have been provided, the list of frequently asked questions, all of that I think has been very good. And India does have, of course, a history of having probably the world's largest immunization program in any case, even though it's focused mainly on children, and very good electronic tracking system for the vaccines, supply chain, etc. Also, we've risen to the occasion and been able to produce more vaccines, auto-destruct syringes that are going to be used along with the vaccines. So I think the preparations that have been done will come in good stead now. As far as the approvals are concerned, I think what is really needed is a good communication package that goes along with the approvals by the Drug Controller General of India, explaining clearly how and on what basis a particular vaccine is being approved. We are going to have a mix of vaccines being provided. There's no doubt that there are going to be maybe some that are manufactured outside or have been developed outside, manufactured in India because of the tie-ups. There are also going to be innovative vaccines that are being developed by Indian companies, different platforms we're going to see. So I think it's going to be extremely important to have uniform and clear criteria for approval of vaccines. And it is true that during a pandemic, one can have extraordinary situations and rules can be adapted. So you have emergency use listings, for example, that many countries are doing. So there is an opportunity to start using products even before they've been tried and tested in the usual way, which would normally take years to do. But again, it has to be done under a framework that's very clear. The kind of monitoring and reporting of data that's going to be needed by the companies. Are people going to be providing informed consent? What sort of follow-up is going to be done? And then from time to time, what are the reviews that are going to be done? Will a vaccine that's been approved, be revoked if the data suggest? So these are the kind of issues I think that if they're very clear to people, then there shouldn't be any problem really in approving vaccines. So I think it's a question of both communicating prior to the approval as to what the benchmarks are going to be and what the rules are going to be, and make sure those rules are the same for all. And then after the approval, in a particular case, explaining what exactly is going to be done.
So is there a template for this information also, the trial information and the emergency use definition and things like that?
Yes. Yes, thank you for that that comment as well. WHO has really just worked hard to expand and strengthen our communication and outreach to both, not just the scientific community, but to the lay public as well. We issued in October something which are the criteria for the emergency use listing of vaccines. What should be the minimum criteria for safety as well as efficacy, and also for the production, the quality of the production. So those are the criteria that we will use when manufacturers apply to us for approval under emergency use or under pre-qualification. And countries are also free to use that. And it's very much aligned with what the FDA, for example, is using in their assessments. In terms of communication, yes, we've developed a lot of materials that have been shared with governments around the world. We have a whole package on the National Vaccine Deployment Plan, and there are 10 elements within that which governments need to work on. One of them is communication, including risk communication. So yes, that's all available. It needs to be adapted, of course, and tailored to the use of individual countries.